What lies beyond the shadows cast by New York City? Urban legends and ghost stories may seem fictitious until we uncover the true history beneath. What monsters will we find as we unmask Spooky Island?
Nicknamed the End of the World, Montauk sits at the easternmost tip of Long Island, originally occupied by the Montauk tribe. After negotiations for the land, the Montauk Point Lighthouse was completed in 1792.
Montauk had been considered a prime location for an invasion from the sea since the Revolutionary War. So in 1942, the Army began construction on Camp Hero. 3 gun batteries were built, as well as docks, seaplane hangars, barracks, a torpedo testing facility, and more. Following the end of World War II, Camp Hero was used as a training facility and the guns were dismantled. The western side was given to the Air Force to set up radar equipment. In 1960, construction was completed on the large high-power radar at over 126 feet long and 38 feet tall, looming over the grounds.
Operations continued throughout the 60s and 70s, but were slowly moved west to a new facility outside of Riverhead. In 1980, when it was completed, most of the remaining equipment was left behind. Yet Camp Hero still seemed to be active. No funding can be traced to the military or the government, opening a rabbit hole of conspiracies involving electronic mind control, unusual weather patterns, bizarre animal behaviors, and a vicious beast.
The origins of what is known as Project Montauk can be traced back to 1940s research on radar invisibility. Allegedly, the Philadelphia experiment sought to make a Navy ship invisible to enemy radar by creating an electromagnetic bottle around it. However, it not only disappeared off the radar, it vanished from reality, only to reappear later in a different location. Project Montauk also had roots in Project Moonstruck, a successor to MK-Ultra, which involved electronic implants in the brain and teeth to track behavior and condition subjects. After these were shut down, the engineers pitched their technology to the military as a mind control device that can make the enemy surrender with the flip of a switch.
They were given access to Camp Hero, creating programs researching electromagnetic waves, changing mood, conditioning animals, and even disabling the functions of a car. It was found that human consciousness can be altered by electromagnetics, so this is when they started experimenting with psychics. This is where the story goes off the rails. The following stories are what largely inspired the Duffer Brothers' hit Netflix show, Stranger Things.
The Montauk chair was a receiver of sorts for psychological energy. Coils and other electronics were placed around the chair, and scientists were able to interpret a subject's thoughts. With developments, they were able to materialize small objects to entire buildings purely from thought. They were also able to intercept TV signals, move objects, and shatter glass. The seeing eye experiment found that the psychic were able to see through other people by concentrating on them. Eventually, they were able to incept thoughts into a person's head. By recording and playing back the electric signal, they were able to load and broadcast programs into people's minds. They were even able to open a vortex through time. Because of this risk, they would grab drunks off the street and coach them through, reporting on their experience if they made it back. They would also recruit runaway kids known as the Montauk boys for this research, sending them to the future along with other places inside and outside of our universe.
Throughout this time, locals reported hurricane winds out of nowhere, snow in August, sudden lightning storms, hail, and animals spontaneously crashing through windows. In August of 1984, a catastrophic event involving the apparition of the ship used in the Philadelphia experiment, the scientists had to kill the operation. The plan was to materialize a monster that would destroy all of the equipment and evidence and disappear without a trace to scare anyone from experimenting with this technology in the future. However, the large beast did not appear in the base and instead began wreaking havoc on the grounds above. After forcibly cutting power to the machinery, the monster faded away, but his energy continues to echo through Camp Hero to this day. In 1984, a squad was sent to the base to close it for good. They were instructed to kill anything that moves, remove any equipment and documents left behind, and prepare the underground to be permanently sealed. Later that year, it was completely filled in with cement. The radar antenna was deemed too massive to disassemble and was abandoned in place. Reports persisted that Camp Hero draws military amounts of power despite being inactive. However, Camp Hero State Park was open to the public in 2002, attracting historians, urban explorers, and conspiracy theorists alike. You may even capture a shadow figure on film. These experiments on human consciousness technology are probably still going on somewhere today. Maybe right in your backyard.